Do you want to take charge of your year before it even starts? Well, let's reset your planner so that you step into the new year feeling organized, focused, and ready. Hi friends, I'm Simply Sherry, and we are continuing our 5-day mini-series focused on our home office or workspace. We are going to talk about 5 things that you can do to reset your planner or calendar so that you're ready for the new year. Number 1, review important dates and events. So there's something called a perpetual calendar. You can actually buy little booklets or have a PDF printout or a planner insert or even something digital on your laptop or iPad or phone, where it means perpetual because it happens again and again and again. It doesn't end. So example, birthdays, anniversaries, maybe even death anniversaries are things that you can put in your calendar already because you know the day it's going to happen. So for example, in January, we celebrate our anniversary and we are going to be 30 years married. What a feat. What an accomplishment. My husband is also surprised too. I'm surprised. So we have our 30-year anniversary. And by the way, I got married when I was 25. My husband was 28. He just celebrated his birthday yesterday. We went out to this really beautiful Thai restaurant. And so now we're 55 and 58. Can you imagine that? Yeah, I can't imagine that. So his birthday, by the way, really hit hard for me. I was like, man, you're almost 60. Anyway, age is just a number, right? So things like that, anniversaries, birthdays, right? Put those in, maybe your friends' birthdays, your kids' birthdays, because you know that's going to happen. Then there are things that are recurring events. So example, you probably or you might host a certain holiday every single year. So example, if you do maybe the 4th of July barbecue party because you have the best pool in the neighborhood or something like that, or you just love entertaining, put that in already. Or you're the one hosting Thanksgiving this year again, put that in. There are also times when by this time where you know the vacations you're going to take. So for my job, because I do work aside from doing YouTube, we have an annual meeting and it's always in a different place. So sometimes it's in Europe, sometimes it's in the US. Last time was in San Francisco. This year it was in San Francisco. Last time it was in Seoul, South Korea. And by the way, I have a second YouTube channel that I'm restarting again. I did it for a little while, about a year ago, so I'm restarting it, and it's called Simply Sherry Travels. So if you want to see how I pack, maybe some travel vlogs, and definitely hotel reviews, then you can go check that out. I'll put the link in the description box. But we were in Seoul, South Korea last time, and then this coming year in 2025, we are planning to go to Turkey. Oh, I'm so excited. I love traveling. So if I'm not home organizing, then I'm traveling. So put in your vacations, work trips. Those are usually, you usually know those kind of a little bit in advance. And most schools or universities, they already have their kind of, their major holidays or closed days already out for the next school year. So you could look that up online or your school's website or your university's website and put those in, right? I always like to do that in December or January to see even in the fall when the holidays are for my daughter. My son's not in school anymore. He's completely adulting, and so it's just my daughter that I have to look at as far as holidays with their schools, because you plan around those, right? Or you plan for those. So these recurring events or special holidays or parties that you throw, they don't come upon you like surprise, right? Like it's coming. Hopefully your spouse knows when your anniversary is. Many times they're surprised too, right? Anyway, the whole reason you put these dates and events into your calendar now is so that you avoid surprises and you stay on top of what matters most. Number 2, set your goals for the year. Now, we know that goals isn't just wishes and dreams and aspirations. You actually put what you want to accomplish, by when, and how. Now, if you don't want to get that deep or that detailed, that's okay. You can still just write aspirations and kind of goals. But me personally, for me, goals are what I'm going to accomplish by what date or by what month and how I'm going to do it. So, for example, you want to get your kitchen organized. So that's an aspiration, that's a wish, that's a hope, and that's great, right? But you can make it a goal more by saying, I am going to get my pantry organized by March of 2025 or whatever year it is. And I'm going to do that by watching Simply Sherry's videos because she is coming out with a how to organize your pantry mini course, okay, or something like that. So watch out for that. So I would set out larger category goals like personal, family, career, and then under those, you could break it down more. So let's say under personal, you might put fitness. Under family is you might want to teach your kids whatever it is you want to teach them. Under career, you might have your different career goals, or whether it's like a raise or, being, getting employee of the month or things like that. Having clear goals doesn't just give you a sense of direction, but actual direction, because you have the what, when, how, and you can even put the why so that when you look back at your goals, because it should be there. It shouldn't be buried like at the bottom of your desk drawer or stuffed into some luggage that you used last time you were on a work trip. It should really be up front and center so you can revisit it, whether it's once a week, every month, and see like, okay, this is why, not just what goal I want to accomplish, but why I want to accomplish it. Number 3, create monthly themes or focus areas. Assign a specific theme or focus for the month. So for example, let's say January, you want to focus on decluttering, right? And that can go as deep and wide as you want it to, or you could just be touching base or putting your feet in the water. You can decide every week, I'm going to declutter 10 items per week, or I'm going to declutter for 10 minutes a week. That's what you can do. But you, at the end of the month versus no decluttering, now you've had either 40 minutes of decluttering, 40 items that have been decluttered. And look forward to my January series where I will be sharing every week 10 items that you can declutter in a certain area of your home. Yes, there is a lot coming in the next year from this channel. I'm so excited. I actually have the whole year planned out for my channel. So I'm excited about that. I'm finally ahead and I'm not chasing the year. So if you're doing decluttering in January, February, because it's Valentine's, you might have a theme of self-care. This is where you do things that you love to do, whether it's reading, that gets you energized, or it's taking a lot more naps, go using that massage certificate that hopefully somebody gave you, or you treat yourself to a spa, maybe a facial, or spending time with girlfriends, having afternoon tea, whatever is your self-care. Do those in February if that's going to be your theme for the month. Or your birthday month, right? Like, let's never celebrate anymore just like a birthday. It should be a birth month, right? Maybe a birth year, but at least a birth month, birth week, right? And so if my birthday is in June, maybe my focus for June is celebrating me, right? And it's not really just about self-care, but really celebrating my birth. Oh, my birth. That sounded weird. But celebrating that I was born, okay, right? And a lot of times, we don't have enough self-love, or really, sometimes accolades come far and few between if we're surrounded by people who are not expressive that way. But it doesn't mean you don't have accolades or accomplishments or things that you need to give a pat on your shoulder or give yourself an applause. So if other people don't do it, I'm not saying that people don't do that in my life. I'm just giving an example. Use your birth month as a focus or a theme of celebrating who you are, what you've achieved, and what you've not achieved, right? Things that where maybe people don't even need to know, but it's something for you. I think we need that time to, like self-acceptance, self-assuredness, I think is important. It's something that I believe in, for myself. I believe in it for my kids, especially one thing I love about, even when it's their birthdays, it could be your theme, for that month of, if it's like, for example, my kids luckily were born in the same month. So I could focus on that month as far as my theme for this month is I'm going to make sure that I express or I do something special for my kids. And the same thing for my husband's in December, because a lot of times it's the holidays, right? But it's also his birthday. And he grew up feeling like his birthday was never remembered because it's a week before Christmas, right? So, or he would, instead of getting a birthday gift and a Christmas gift, he would just get one gift. So he always felt like, I don't know the right word, shorthanded. Anyway, so that was just something, that was like impressed onto him that sometimes it's hard to shake off. But anyway, through our 30 years of marriage, he's definitely had a separate birthday and a separate Christmas in our household. If you found these 3 tips so far helpful, then go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially for those of you who are new, so that you can continue to declutter and get organized. Number 4, plan key deadlines and appointments. So example, work projects. Maybe you know when the launch of a certain product or service is going to be, or you have a special event, or you're moving offices, those kind of bigger deadlines. You can go ahead and put them into your calendar, and you can actually work backwards to make sure that you're going to hit that deadline. You might also have stuff like recurring doctor appointments, and you don't know exactly when the doctor appointment is, but okay, usually I need, let's say the dentist, right? You go get your teeth cleaned every 6 months. So if you hadn't set that appointment from your last appointment, go ahead and set it now. Or, maybe something, you had the appointment and then something happened that you had to cancel that day and you forgot to go back and reschedule. So go ahead and reschedule those appointments, or you have your yearly checkup with the doctor. So you can set that appointment now. Especially, let's say for women, we need our yearly checkup, or we need certain checkups for different parts of our body. So set up those appointments. And by planning these key deadlines, what you're going to do is reduce your stress, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, it's 2 Saturdays from now, I have this, or in 3 weeks, this deadline for work is due, but I haven't started on this part of the project. So it's going to allow you to have less stress because now you're more prepared just seeing it in your calendar. If you need a little bit more help decluttering and organizing, then please sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's called Tuesday Transformations, and I give you more how-tos like this, tips, tools, and encouragement so that you would have less stress and more peace by creating a home you love. When you sign up, you will receive 6 free printables from me that will help you start decluttering. Again, the link is in the description box below. Number 5, add buffer time for rest and self-care. Listen, my friend, you have got to schedule in your schedule rest days, regular breaks, and self-care moments. You know what they always say on every airline, on every airplane that takes off, where do you put the oxygen mask first? Do you put it on your kid or do you put it on yourself? Well, you put it on yourself, right? Because those few seconds, if you put on your kid, between that time, you could pass out, right? So you put it on yourself first, and then you have the energy and the focus to put it on your kid. And this is the same direction year after year, after year, after decade, on every airline in any language. But when it comes to us, we don't understand the language. We forget, we get distracted, we don't understand, we feel guilty. And I think that's the main thing, is we feel guilt to take care of ourselves. Well, we need to stop feeling guilty, because if you're not doing well, you're not taking care of yourself. I mean, how in the world can you take care of other people? And you know, there's lots of memes and jokes, like, you know, when that thing that circles because it's buffering, it's thinking. And a lot of times we think like, okay, that's not a good thing because it should be fast. It should happen now. Like, why is it taking so long, right? And we just want things here and now, but we need that buffer, right? It's more of not that way, but thinking of, you know, this, you know, you do bumper cars and you have like that bumper, it buffers you so that the impact is not so hard, right? And you need the buffer time so that you don't burn out, right? So that you can take care of others. I think it's just a muscle that we need to keep working on, right? Once you stop working out, right, like the muscle atrophies very quickly. So if you have forgotten how to have rest days or regular breaks, it's just a matter of starting back up again and then building it up so that it becomes a regular part of your life. So example, look on your Saturdays. So when I was a soccer mom and both my kids were in soccer, you know, the Saturdays were taken. So it was hard to take you know, breaks on Saturdays because we'd be out all day and then we would have our family time during the, you know, dinner time and into the evening. So Saturdays were pretty much taken. So then I would have to look at Sundays. So late, kind of like Sunday afternoon for a couple hours, and then after dinner, those were my me times. That's when I liked to read. I remember reading was like a big thing for me at that time. I'd prepare for the week. I'd prepare my bag for the week. And so even being organized and preparing for the week, I consider that self-care because it helped me get into a mental space before I started my work week. Or now maybe you're not a soccer mom and there are no extracurricular activities on Saturday, but sometimes what we do, because we're social butterflies, we pack every Friday night and Saturday night with dinners, potlucks, events, parties. And then when you look back on the last 2 months, you're just like, why am I so tired? And you see that every Saturday, every Friday was taken up. That's okay. It's fine to be a social butterfly, but I think sometimes it's good to just take a little bit of a break because especially if you're working all week or you're with your kids all week, and being at parties and events are still outward focused, right? You're still talking and you're still giving to people, and maybe you have good conversations and you get filled up by that, but you can also get filled up by having a rest, by having time with yourself, maybe just having time with your spouse, having just time with your kids. You know, you just need to just slow it down just a little bit. So putting this buffer time is meant to support you so that you have a balanced and realistic life. Number 1, review important dates and events. Number 2, set your goals for the year. Number 3, create monthly themes or focus areas. Number 4, plan key deadlines and appointments. Number 5, add buffer time for rest and self-care. Well, friends, I hope resetting your planner or calendar before the new year has been helpful. If you're new, reminder to sub to my channel so you can continue to declutter and organize. And my newsletter link is in the description box. Stay tuned for the next video where we will talk about 5 things to refresh your home office or workspace.